Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Shock. I'm your host, Joshua Gillis, and now is day 18 on day 19 of the 31 Days of Horror reviews. Haven't done a Halloween special yet, so I'm using this as a little bit of free space to talk about one that I don't see people talk about that much, but is a favorite of mine. That's going to be a quick review because it's a little quick movie, and it is a cartoon. So, that is 1985's film Roman short Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Yes, a Garfield film. Thank God that Garfield stayed a cartoon and never got made into a movie by weird people starring Bill Murray. We don't talk about those. So, Garfield's Halloween Adventure is an episode in, I believe the series Garfield and Friends. I used to watch it a lot as a kid. This was always a favorite of mine. And it's about Garfield and Odie going trick-or-treating, and they end up in a haunted house surrounded by and haunted by ghost pirates. This is essentially Garfield's The Fog. Man, I love this little movie. It feels like a warm blanket. I've talked about the Charlie Brown. It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. That's always been a classic. I watch it every year. And this is another one I watch every year. Yes, I'm a 26-year-old man that watches Garfield. If you don't like it, fuck you. Joking. But you should watch this. Cartoons are fun. I really loved Garfield and Friends. It's the ultimate, Garfield experience, for lack of a better term. This is just, quintessential, mid-80s kid shows to me. I used to watch a lot of reruns of kid shows on VHS, and stuff that, my parents watched and my grandparents watched with them. So I watched a lot of Looney Tunes, a lot of Garfield, stuff like that as a kid, and this was always a favorite of mine. I think the humor in this has aged really well. It's a film that I still think is, 40 years after, is still going to be funny to kids now. There's just something very cute and nice about Garfield and Odie going on their little trick-or-treating thing and not having to worry about adult things like taxes or things in adult movie. We're all watching graphic, gory horror movies this month. It's the month of Terrifier 3. The Profane Exhibit's out, which I just reviewed. Stuff like that. Sometimes, amidst all the grim things, all we want is a little bit of Garfield. And this is one of those instances. I really love this. I think the animation has held up really well, too. This has that Saturday morning cartoon feel that I really enjoy and vibe with. And I do think the Ghost Pirates thing, surely that had to be some sort of nod to John Carpenter, right? Because it really does feel like it a lot of the time. It's just spooky enough. This is a great one. If you have kids, I know some of my viewers have kids, so if you have kids and they haven't seen this, watch this with them. This is a good little intro. This, Goosebumps, some candy, make a pillow fort. This just has a really nice vibe to it. It reminds me of the times I spent watching this with my grandparents, and my grandmother passed away last year, so this reminds me of her too. So it's just a personal little fun thing. I just love Garfield. And, being in Indiana, it is a requirement to like Garfield. Jim Davis is from here. Jim Davis is actually pretty close to where I am. And I've always been a Garfield fan. The comics, the god-awful live-action movies that have weird scenes in it, the milk drinking from the first one. God, I'm not going to get into it, but oh boy, I have watched both Garfield live-action films this year as well, and they're not great. They have not held up, not even that they were good originally. So if you're going to watch anything Garfield, watch Garfield and Friends, specifically Garfield's Halloween Adventure, because it is a hell of a lot of fun. It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Recently watched Scary Godmother with Odd Art. I think the animation in that is a little wonky, but, I just like the vibe of those early and even, newer Halloween specials. Those things we grew up with that just feel like a warm blanket. Another underrated one I will actually review later in the month. It'll be my second Halloween special. Is Monster Mash. God. Monster Mash. Please watch Monster Mash. Somebody, so I can talk to you about it. Nobody has seen it that I've ever talked to. Monster Mash is incredible. It's on YouTube, and so is this. As is a lot of Garfield and Friends, so check it out. Yeah, highly recommended. That's it for that. As always, make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys later. Zero thoughts, zero editing, zero brain cells, and zero planning. Thanks for watching.